Good evening. Welcome to the middle of the week. I'm your host, Stuart Davis, the Flawed Man of God. I'm a humble parishioner at a small church just outside of Richmond, Virginia. I'm not a pastor, not a biblical scholar, haven't been to seminary. Not trying to get you to join my church or donate to any special cause. What I'm here to do is talk about God, talk about Jesus, talk about the Holy Spirit, talk about the Bible, talk about Christianity, talk about a wide variety of different topics, issues, and current events, and give you my perspective on them, one that I think is reflective of your average Christian guy. Been a Christian all my life, 40 years, non denominational Protestant. I don't subscribe to any particular doctrine or denomination. I'm just in the Word daily, trying to do better each and every day. Sometimes I'll get it right, many times I'll get it wrong, but no matter what, if you're listening to me, if you're watching me stream, if you're hearing my voice, you're going to be getting my honest takes and opinions on whatever it is that we're discussing. So if you're somebody who is new to Christianity, or maybe you're not a Christian and you're just looking for information, maybe a reason to become a Christian, maybe there's a voice in the back of your mind wondering if there's more to life than just your life here on earth. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. So hopefully this layperson approach is what you're looking for. Maybe you don't want to hear something from someone who you think has something to gain. Maybe you think there's a conflict of interest by listening to a paid preacher who is up at the pulpit speaking. Maybe that just doesn't resonate well with you. Maybe you don't want to hear from people who are talking from social media or music. Maybe you just want to know what the guy in the pew next to you is thinking. What has he gotten out of all this? And that's what you're going to get here. A look into the mind of someone who's been doing it quite a while. And I can tell you, it's worth it. But go ahead and tune in and see what it's all about. And hopefully, what you get here will put you on a path to salvation. That would bring me much joy. If you were already a Christian and you just enjoy Christian topics and discussions, welcome as well. You'll find we run this very similar to a Wednesday night study group or a Sunday school. It's very casual, very informal, very relaxed, and it's community driven, right? And because I say that, no matter where you land on things, if you are just wanting to learn about Christianity or you are more mature in your faith than I am, come on and join the chat. The chat's great. We have several members, great folks who tune in and night out, and give their thoughts, feelings, or just stop by to say hey. But I want to hear from you. So tell me, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What do you agree with or disagree with? What do you get? What are you getting out of whatever we are discussing? Maybe you have a unique experience or some insight. Maybe you just want to make your opinion heard. Go ahead and do that. We're a small enough community right now that if you write into that little chat box and hit send, I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna respond to it. So let's go ahead and get into the show. One moment. That's good. If I look a little flushed, it's just because I just got out of the shower, so I'm nice, clean, and fresh for the stream, and feeling good. How's everybody doing tonight? Dresden, welcome. First up, Nico, right behind him. Hiya. Carl and Alex, welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys here. We are halfway through the week, halfway through the stream, and I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm gonna miss you guys when I take this break. But I've got some personal goals to myself to at least look at how I might improve. How I might improve, just the presentation of the show, not the format, not the things that I'm not what I'm saying, but maybe maybe add an intro, maybe dress it up a little bit. Put some effort into it. You guys deserve it, right? I think I deserve it. I think the Lord deserves it. Maybe a little bit of pomp and circumstance, or not pomp and circumstance, pomp and ceremony. Just put it a little bit, just something like that. When I was on my buddy Joel's stream the other day. He's got all this intro music. He's got this whole thing. And I don't want anything that elaborate. Maybe something brief. Maybe something like that, just to kind of bring the show in and make it look a little bit more polished. But I don't want to change what's said. I don't want to change how I interact with you guys, and I don't want to change what we're talking about at all. And I do think also during that break period, I am going to do one episode and perhaps do a watch party for It's a Wonderful Life, and see where we go from there. I've never done one before. Don't know how to set it up. I got some time before Christmas to figure it out, but I've been told it's open source. Maybe Chaco will help me put it together. Maybe he'll join me. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's been nice. It's been a good week so far. I love this time of year. I love this time of year from the beginning of November all the way to a little bit after New Year's. I like the winter time. I like the lights. I like the excitement behind it. And I love snow. That's why I don't like it when people bring their, I know why, but I don't like it when people bring their Christmas lights down after Christmas or after New Year's, just because I like the brightness. I like the color. There's a lot of, it's dark for a long time during the winter. And I like that people keep that up only almost in a celebratory fashion. Now, like you'd celebrate Christmas, but it's just, I just like the atmosphere. It's like the atmosphere. Carl says, you're local is why I'm listening. Your message is great. Keep it humble. My whole point of this is to try to keep it humble. The question is, it's easy to keep humble when it's small, when it's just us talking. If this show ever does blow up, that's when the real difficulty is going to come, where I need to go. Remember where you came from. Remember who you're serving. Remember why you started this show in the first place, as opposed to, I'm big time now. Everybody's watching my show. Hoo-hoo. Stay the same. And not let the added attention go to my head, because it gets to people. It gets to people. It is fame brings its own myriad of temptations and obstacles and pitfalls. But again, I don't foresee. I'm not intentionally doing things to try to chase viewers. If they show up, they show up. That's great. You guys show up. And I've said, I'd love for the community to grow. I want it to grow. But if it's just you and me on here, chat, I'm good with that. But every once in a while, I'll do something like drop a link. It's been a year. It's been a year almost since I dropped that chat on Nick Rekieta's show during the Rittenhouse interview to draw more people in. Maybe I should do something similar at another time. Who knows? We'll see. Emmanuel Sorio is here. Hello there. Got home early this week and enjoy the show. Hey, good to see that you are doing all right and putting those miles in, sir. Nika said, "Ooh, would love to join for a watch party. Let me know when you have details. I will. I will. We'll do that. All right. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. I was waiting for Veritax to show up. Maybe when he does, remind me. I wanted to respond to something. I just didn't feel like typing it all out. Um, it was in response to some of his impressions about the Sunday sermon message that were valid, but um, I think needed some tempering. Not to say that he came across rudely, he didn't, or hot. He didn't come in with a hot take. He just came in with a well-meaning take. I just said, yeah, there's a but there, and I wanted to get into the but. That didn't come out right. Clip it. We'll talk about it later. All right, so we're going into Psalms tonight again. We are going to be on 37 and 38. I am going to try to not rush through this like I was yesterday. There was a reason I was rushing through it yesterday. I'm not going to get into that, but there was some discomfort. There was some discomfort. So I tried to do my best. And get through it. But tonight we're gonna get into the goodness of Psalms once more, and we're gonna start with Psalm 37. Let me pull it up. Boom, boom, boom. All right, a Psalm of David, the heritage of the righteous and the calamity of the wicked. Do not fret because of evildoers, nor be envious of the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. He shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass. Oh, wait, I didn't read that right. Rewind. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Do not fret, it only causes harm. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those who wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall be no more. Indeed, you will look carefully for his place, but it shall be no more. But the meek shall inherit the earth. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plots against the just, and gnashes at him with his teeth. The Lord laughs at him, for he sees that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn the sword, and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and needy, to slay those who are of upright conduct. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The Lord knows the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord, like the splendor of the meadows, shall vanish. Into smoke they shall vanish away. The wicked the wicked borrows and does not repay, but the righteous shows mercy and gives. For those blessed by him shall inherit the earth, but those cursed by him shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I have been young, and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his descendants begging bread. He is ever merciful and lends, and his descendants are blessed. Depart from evil, and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loves justice, and does not forsake his saints. They are preserved forever, but the descendants of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land, and dwell in it forever. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom, and his tongue talks of justice. The law of God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watches the righteous and seeks to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, you shall see it. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a native green tree. Yet he passed away, and behold, he was no more. Indeed, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the blameless man and observe the upright, for the future of that man is peace, but the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The future of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is from the Lord. He is their strength in the times of trouble. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in him. Welcome, Jenny. Long one, folks. And it seems to go a little all over the place, but there's a recurring theme. And it's a recurring theme within Psalms. Don't worry. Trust in God. God's going to provide. God will save you. The Psalms seem almost like just a constant what's the word? What's the phrase I'm looking for? When you hear the same thing over and over. Repetitive. It is that'll come to me. It's the same themes. It's a constant reminder of trusting in the Lord, looking to God, being patient, understanding things happen in His time, and understanding that obeying Him and keeping His commandments and being good and being righteous has rewards that go past just this life. Do not worry about bad folks, and don't be jealous of them, because their time is coming. They shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. That's life, guys. Sometimes people are going to get ahead in worldly ways by being wicked, deceitful, evil. But that only counts for worldliness, because they're not getting one over on God. Spiritually, they're doing terrible. Just because you make a lot of money, just because you get one over on folks, it's because you can fool people and take advantage of them. that does not have a correlation to your ability or to your salvation, except for in the negative. God doesn't care about your bank account when you die. It's not the point. What did you do with the blessings that he gave you? What blessings do you have? What gifts do you have? How are you doing your best to work for the betterment of his kingdom? So don't worry about folks who don't believe or folks who are using the opportunity um, to take advantage of others, those who break the law, whatever. Don't worry about them. They're going to get what's coming to them in this life or the next. Pray for them, though. Like Jenny says, I like this. Everyday life, I pray for them all. I try to stay humble. You pray for these folks. They're doing the wrong thing. They are condemning themselves. And we all fall into this trap. I say they are. We all sin. But when we see people who are just totally given into it and truly just don't care about anything other than the here and now, there's going to become a time where the here and now is gone and eternity has arrived. And all that here and now focus from them is going to be an awful thing for them to experience. Emmanuel says a perfect example is to say we do our hard, honest day work, and then you have people getting fast money via legal activities, but there are hard consequences. Yeah, yeah. Look at folks who do who deal drugs. If you can be slick, you can make a lot of money real fast. But try getting out of the game, or see how dangerous it is because there's so much fast money and there's so much violence involved in that. But it doesn't have to go back. It doesn't even have to go get to that extreme. It could just be a guy cheating on his taxes, cheating on his theft. Could be a guy cheating on his wife. Got an urge, gonna follow through with it. Maybe she finds. Maybe my wife finds out. Maybe it ruins my marriage. Maybe I've got kids, but I'll get over it. It's fine. How much damage does that really do? How much damage does that do to yourself? How much damage does that do to the people around you? It sucks. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Don't worry about those folks. Like Emmanuel says, do your hard, honest day's work. Pray to God. Love him. Do your best to honor him and represent the kingdom. Love others. Be the guy who makes a difference. Be the gal who makes the difference. I know we got some ladies listening. Be the gal who makes a difference as well. You can't change, or you shouldn't expect to just change the behaviors of the folks around you. You can control your own. And maybe you end up being an example that other people follow. If they don't, there's nothing doing. You're not alone. We're still in the Old Testament. We're talking about David right now. There's times in the kingdom of Israel where they're out of the entire hundreds of thousands and millions of Israelites, only 5,000 of them love the Lord. How alone do you think those guys were, as spread out as they were? There was a time when priests were chased out of Israel into Judah. They were mocked and beaten and chased off. There was a time where a king of Judah sent messengers to bring them in. Bring messengers to bring them in, to bring more Israelites together to partake in the holy festivals that God commanded for them to remember the things that he had done. And those messengers had the same thing happen to them. But a few people followed them back. And there were good times. Do good by yourself. Do good to yourself. Or do right by yourself. Maybe you're mocked, spit upon, beaten. Maybe somebody watches. Maybe somebody sees that goodness is worth that risk. Or goodness is worth enduring it. Paralysis by analysis. Welcome to the show, by the way. Always glad to see you commenting. Allowing the sun to go down on your hate towards others merely feeds the spiritual vampires who you are hating. We should pray for those who are lost because at one time we were one of them. I told about there's still a lot of resentment in my heart for people, for some people, and I have to take my own advice. But there are other things that I have let go of, and I describe forgiveness as climbing up a hill. You climb, and this was one of my first videos I posted. Climbing up a hill. You're trying to convince that's the work, that's the effort, convincing yourself I should be able to forgive this person. It hurt, but I don't want to. It hurts. That they did to me was wrong. They got away with it. They're not sorry. They don't care. I'm still hurting. Other people are still hurting. It was wrong. Why did they do that? There's no closure. All these things are working against you as you climb up that mountain, climb up that hill, however you want to visualize it. But once you get to the top, once you get past all those arguments and you're ready to forgive and you just slide down the other side, and it is an easy road. You feel better. Because you've done something you should. Emmanuel said, most importantly, don't let rage of the world consume you. Don't hate other people, but just accept that they're living their own lives and pray for them. Remember to, I'm not going to get into that yet, but what you said here, Emmanuel, I know that you're speaking somewhat for yourself there too, because you, there are things that go in the world that infuriate you. And you've said before that you listen to this show to kind of help wind yourself down a bit, and remember that you don't need to be out there be the avenging spirit out there righting wrongs. You've got yourself to work on, which is awesome. You follow this up with probably the hardest thing to do is remember to pray for your local furry today. Purge the unclean. Pray for furries. They are absolutely 100% lost. Pray for everybody watching anime too. All you anime watchers. All you Japanimation fans. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. He shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Do not fret, it only causes harm. Now, most of this part is um most of this part is just reinforcing what we've already read. This part at the end, do not fret, it only causes harm. What is worry, concern, jealousy? Um, where does that get you? Does it do anything positive? Does it even net neutral? Doesn't. Only causes harm. That's very true. And again, I bring up my wife. She's awesome at this, telling me to give it to God. It's going to happen in his time. It's hard. It's hard when you want to go into action and force it to work the way you think it should work. Forcing something the way you think it should work instead of the way God intends for it, or God might want you to do it, it's not gonna. That usually doesn't end up good. Usually end up like Saul, right? When he thinks that he's doing the right thing, he doesn't listen at all to God, and Samuel has to be like, "No, you moron! Why did you do that?" But I did this great thing. No, you didn't. You didn't listen. You've done a terrible thing, and I wash my hands of you. Paralysis by analysis. Pray for those who listen to K-pop, for they are truly lost. I did the Gangnam Style dance at my brother's wedding back when it had released. We were all doing it. Awful. The next year we were at a friend's wedding and we did Ylvis. What does the fox say? That was fun. Both of those were fun. But that's not K-pop. That's what would you call Ylvis? S-pop? Scandinavian pop? Is that Swedish pop? I don't know. I can't remember. Can't remember where they're from. But trust in God. Trust in God to do things in your time. And then he follows it right up. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those who wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall be no more. Indeed, you will look carefully for his place. A reminder that life is fleeting. And it seems like a long time, but it's not. It's a blink in time compared to eternity. And in that blink, all the things that they did and all the riches that they gathered for themselves, they're gone. Can't take it with them. And that's assuming they don't ever see any worldly consequences. Look carefully for his place, but it shall be no more. The meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The meek shall inherit the earth. What? That's why I paused there. Are we hearing a foreshadowing of the Beatitudes? How inspired is David in his love for God? The wicked plots against the just and gnashes at him with his teeth. The Lord laughs at him, for he sees that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, to slay those who are of upright conduct. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. They think they're getting away with it. They think they're getting away with it. And they may mock and ridicule folks who are doing the right thing. Lord just laughs. He knows better. He laughs because he knows that their ego has led them to think that they know better than he does, or that their time of getting one over on people will never end. They're not thinking about that. And then they will eventually be defeated. Swords entering their own heart and bows broken. A little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked. Sounds like this is a little bit of Proverbs right there. A little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked. In fact, I think there is something or two or three Proverbs that say something very similar to that. What you get by being honest, even if it and being righteous, following in the ways of the Lord. Maybe it's not the easy way to money or riches or fame or whatever. Maybe it's a humble life and you're just getting by. That little bit that you accomplished by being or that you were able to gain by being acting the way you should act is more than what those who get their worldly goods acting in a worldly manner. The easy imagery for me to draw up is a politician, somebody who lies, cheats, and steals to get votes or to keep votes, keep in office, takes money in bribes and lobbyists and donations and everything and status and fame and attention. All those things. Do you want to be a politician? Is that the kind of life you want to lead? I hope not. The Lord knows the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed of the evil in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord, like the splendor of the meadows, shall vanish. In the smoke they shall vanish away. Again, more time is fleeting. The good win, the bad fail. And who doesn't like that kind of ending? The wicked borrows and does not repay, but the righteous shows mercy and gives. Hey, interesting to put out here. We're at Christmas. The righteous shows mercy and gives. What does Christmas represent? God, the most righteous, showing mercy on us and giving us his only begotten Son. For those blessed by him shall inherit the earth, and those cursed by him shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I have been young, and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his descendants begging bread. He is ever merciful and lends, and his descendants are blessed. David talking from experience. There are better people out there than me. There are good folks out there, and I've never seen God abandon them. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore, for the Lord loves justice and does not forsake his saints. They are preserved forever, but the descendants of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell in it forever. Again, really same themes here. Don't be like those bad folks. Do the right thing, because in the end, it'll pay off. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom, and his tongue talks of justice. The law of God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watches the righteous and seeks to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. This is a lot of the Lord protecting Israel. This is very similar. Actually, this entire psalm sounds a lot like Moses and Deuteronomy, dramatized and dressed up in poetic format. God's done great things. Trust in him to continue to do great things because he's done great things in the past. He's made a promise. He keeps his promises. The good folks will prosper. The bad folks will be punished. So be a good guy. Don't be a bad guy. I've seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a native green tree. Yet he passed away, and behold, he was no more. Indeed, I sought him, but he could not be found. I wonder if he's talking about King Saul. Mark the blameless man and observe the upright, for the future of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The future of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is from the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble. The Lord shall help them and deliver them, as he did for Israel throughout this. Remember, this is where David's at. He's the second king of Israel. The first good king of Israel. And one of the last. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in them. Trust in the Lord. He has done a great many good things for you. He has been there for you. He is looking out for you. He wants the best for you. Just listen to what he says and trust him. Prayer in a time of chastening. Psalm 38, to bring remembrance. O Lord, do not rebuke me in your wrath, nor chasten me in your hot displeasure. For your arrows pierce me deeply, and your hand presses me down. There is no soundness in my flesh because of your anger, nor any health in my bones because of my sin. For my iniquities have gone over my head. Like a heavy burden, they are too heavy for me. My wounds are foul and festering because of my foolishness. I am troubled. I am bowed down greatly. I go mourning all the day long, for my loins are full of inflammation. Are they now? For my loins are full of inflammation, and there is no soundness in my flesh. I am feeble and severely broken. I groan because of the turmoil of my heart. Lord, all my desire is before you, and my sighing is not hidden from you. My heart pants, my strength fails me. As for the light of my eyes, it is also gone from me. My loved ones and my friends stand aloof from my plague, and my relatives stand afar off. Those who also seek my life lay snares for me. Those who seek my hurt speak of destruction and plan deception all the day long. But I, like a deaf man, do not hear, and I am like a mute who does not open his mouth. Thus I am like a man who does not hear, and in whose mouth is no response. For in you, O Lord, I hope. You will hear, O Lord my God. For I said, hear me, lest they rejoice over me, lest when my foot slips, they exalt themselves against me. For I am ready to fall, and my sorrow is continually before me. For I will declare my iniquity. I will be in anguish over my sin. But my enemies are vigorous, and they are strong, and those who hate me wrongfully have multiplied. Those who render evil for good, they are my adversaries, because I follow what is good. Do not forsake me, O Lord. O my God, be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. Woo! Look, I told you guys, when David's sorry, when David realizes he knows what he's done, he takes it to heart. I wonder if this is in response to the Uriah the Hittite incident, or if this is the census incident, or something in between that we don't really read about. But those were big screw ups, and one of them cost the lives of many Israelites. And David takes his job, his role, his title of king seriously. And he knows if not just for the worrying about the people, but understanding that they're God's people. And God has put this responsibility on him, and he has messed up. And they have suffered us because of that. So this is basically, God, please forgive me. Do not rebuke me in your wrath, nor chasten me in your hot displeasure. For your arrows pierce me deeply, and your hand presses me down. When I thought of when Nathan came to David, when he talks about this, your arrows pierce me deeply. Nathan is sent by God to David to talk about what he did to Uriah. And again, he took that to heart. Your arrows pierce me deeply. Or perhaps when God said, there has to be a reckoning for what you've done with this census. You have a choice to make. There is no soundness in my flesh because of your anger, nor any health in my bones because of my sin. He's just talking about maybe a pretty empty feeling, a feeling of weakness when he's let God down. Suddenly, he's not the David who defeated Goliath. He's not the David who killed a lion after one of his sheep. Like a heavy burden, they are too heavy for me. My wounds are foul and festering because of my foolishness. Then we're going to get into the weird passage, awkward passage. I'm troubled, bow down greatly, go mourning all the day long. I feel bad. I feel sorrowful, remorseful, and I'm mourning the loss of the faith that you put in me, God. Because you did put your faith in me, and I let you down. And for my loins are full of inflammation, and there is no soundness in my flesh. David did had a lot of women, had a lot of wives, and had quite a few concubines. So maybe pray to God for some penicillin there, buddy, and calm it down there. Stop. Well, just stop it. Get some help. I am feeble and severely broken. I groan because of the turmoil of my heart. Groans because it burns when he pees too, apparently. I don't know how I ever missed this in Psalms. I'm not going to focus on it. It's a little inappropriate, but still, I was like, when I was reading, I was like, oh, oops. But I'm feeble and severely broken. I groan because of the turmoil in my heart. You ever let somebody down? Somebody who matters to you? You ever drop the ball at work? If it was something that you took pride in? I remember one of my first big screw ups. It happens, Nico. I remember one of my first big screw ups when I was in the railroad industry. No, I didn't derail a train or anything. Um, I cost a client of mine a fair amount of money. I took pride in the hundreds of thousands of the hundreds of thousands of dollars I would save them. But then I cost them, I cost it, I dropped the ball, I cost some money, and I had to go tell them about it. They were gracious. My boss was not, but I felt like I let both of them down because it was not because it was a simple mistake that anybody could have made. And I just, maybe a coin toss, flip of the coin, um, and maybe just made a judgment call. No, um, I should have known better. Um, it was out of laziness that I didn't follow up and follow through with something, and that's not the kind of work that I'm proud of. And I felt really bad about it. Um, the I feel remorse over a lot of things I've done in life that I haven't. I feel a lot of remorse over how I was as an older brother. I really dropped the ball there. Um, I should have been a better example and closer with my brother. Now, me and my brother have been able to um, reconcile. Um, and we did it at a very young age. We both were. He was 18, 19, and I was 22, 23. We were in Iraq together, actually. So, being young and in those kind of at the same base at the same time, that kind of stuff brings you guys brings people together. Um, and we were able to reconcile, but I still bring that up to my kids as how they need to treat each other, because I do look back, man, and still and say, man, I could have done better. I should have done better. Why didn't I know? Um, and that's how I feel, feeble and severely broken. I groan because of the turmoil in my heart. Lord, all my desires before you, and my sighing is not hidden from you. My heart pants, my strength fails me, and as for the light of my eyes, it is also gone from me. Despair. Jenny Eel says, my kid says, sounds like he has a UTI. Yeah, well, it could be. It could be. Um, knowing David, though, there's more to it. Knowing David, no, there's probably more to it than that. Um, my loved ones and my friends stand aloof from my plague, and my relatives stand afar off. Those who seek my life lay snares for me, and those who seek my hurt speak of destruction. Those who are close to me have distanced themselves or ignore what's going on. But those who are after me, they see my weakness and they're going after me. This is more from the perspective of somebody who is in a point of power, a place of power. Again, there's a lot of political intrigue going on during Kings, um, during the era of Kings in Israel. That might not be as easy for us to relate to, but something we can understand is probably going on with David. He's in a weakened state. His political enemies are going to try to take advantage of that, and they do from time to time. For in you, Lord, I hope you will hear, O Lord my God. For I said, hear me, lest they rejoice over me, lest when my foot slips, they exalt themselves against me. For I'm ready to fall. That's again, we're still in that in part of talking like a deaf man. That stuff all kind of lumps into that. But here's the part that's important. For I am ready to fall, and my sorrow is continually before me. For I will declare my iniquity. I will be in anguish over my sin. That's the call to repentance. The internal call to repentance, not the altar call. That's when you realize it yourself and you're ready to say, I'm going to accept my punishment. I'm going to take my lumps, but God, I am sorry. Please forgive me. What I did was wrong. Do not forsake me, O Lord, for my God. Do not be far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. We want it to happen fast. We want God to save us as soon as possible. We want him to forgive us as quickly as possible. God is quick to forgive. That is the good when you mean it. When he knows that you mean it. It's a difference between repenting because it's just what you're supposed to do and repenting because you truly feel it in your soul. And it should come with again, shame is good. Be ashamed of what you've done wrong. It'll help you better appreciate the mercy that God puts on us. Feeling that shame means you know you did it. And that feeling wouldn't be there if you didn't care. If you didn't care about God. It's hard being Christian. It's hard having faith in God. Not just the fact that we take a lot of things on faith, and that's hard. Moments of weakness. But facing these feelings is hard as well. And I think that's why a lot of folks a lot of faith leaders want to take the easy path to bring people into the faith. But you can't just bring them in under false pretense, since you can't trick them into believing in God. And worrying about calling them out and calling them to repent is doing nothing but setting them up for failure. Because if they don't truly understand what they're doing wrong and you're in the position to right them, that's a bad conversation to have with the Lord after judgment. It hurts to feel shame. It hurts to know you've done something wrong. You should feel bad. It is part of the process. You can't go, it's okay. God's got me. That's a bad attitude. It's bad. And even if you yourself feel guilt and shame and sorrow and for what you've done, if your expectation for others is that they just need to come to terms with it and they just need to, just shrug it off, they can do that. They can't. They have to go through that same struggle that we all do. They have to feel that. David feels that. Moses feels that. Paul feels that. If these folks have to go through it, you certainly do. Your friends certainly do. And the people you are bringing to God, to Christ, they have to go through it too. They're not going to burn up as they enter the church. They're not going to get struck by lightning. They're not going to cause the building to collapse or any of that. Through their pain, a weight is going to be lifted off of their shoulders. And they'll have a little bit more peace when it's all said and done. All right, that's the show for tonight. So, I'm going to talk to my folks, say goodbye to my chat, my good old folks in the chat, ladies and fellas, Jenny, Nico, Paralysis by Analysis, Emmanuel Osorio, Carl, Alex, Dresden. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being you guys. Thanks for thanks for all your commentary and your reactions. It's great and it's valuable. And I appreciate it every single day. Every single time I do this, I appreciate it when I'm not streaming. And that's why I make a point to thank you each and every night. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of this show. To everybody who is watching the show and either can't or won't be in the chat. I know y'all are there because I see the view count and I see who is what we got a new guy, new folks. Iron sharpens iron. FJZ. Iron sharpens iron. Welcome to the show. All you guys, folks who are viewing, listening, can't or won't be part of the chat, that's fine. I encourage you, but it's okay. I'm just glad that you guys are finding content that y'all enjoy. Keeps you guys coming back. To everybody else who is catching this on replay, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope to catch you live sometime soon. In the meantime, everybody, have a very good night, and God bless. I appreciate you too, Jay-Z.